Why does the Tower of London, a prison for detainees, become haunted? In the spring of AD 1536, the Tower of London, a famous building in London, welcomed a distinguished prisoner, Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII of England. Anne, once a humble lady-in-waiting, rose to prominence due to the king's favor. At the height of her power, she had over 250 servants and 60 noble ladies-in-waiting attending to her, a spectacle that was truly astounding. Back then, Henry VIII was smitten with her, so much so that he cast aside his first wife, Catherine, to pursue Anne. However, Anne played hard to get, delaying her acceptance of the king's affections for some time before finally marrying him. However, Henry VIII, known for his infidelity, lost interest in and just 3 months into their marriage and began to pursue other ladies-in-waiting. Fortunately, Anne bore him a daughter, which somewhat eased the tension in their relationship. Henry VIII desperately wanted a son, but Anne suffered 2 miscarriages in the 3 years following their marriage, leading the impatient king to accuse her of adultery and to imprison her, along with her father and brother, on charges of treason. Soon after, Anne would face the call of death. This was because Anne was an ambitious and resourceful woman, unlike Catherine, who was weak. In the face of royal intrigue, Anne would undoubtedly have become a major headache for Henry VIII. So, just 2 weeks after being imprisoned in the Tower of London, Anne was executed by decapitation on the Tower's Green, by a knight. In just 3 years, Anne went from being a lowly lady-in-waiting to a distinguished queen, then quickly became a prisoner, and ultimately met her demise. The changes during this period are truly lamentable. From then on, tales of terror surrounding the Tower of London spread. In the years that followed, the Tower of London saw many executions, including prominent nobles and terrorists threatening national security. To consolidate his rule, the king turned the Tower of London into a terrifying prison. Countless traitors had their heads severed under the bridge, coated with preservative tar, and displayed on the tower as a warning. These bloody tales continue to strike fear into the hearts of today's tourists. Due to continuous reports of the Tower of London being haunted, scientists conducted investigations within the tower using instruments. They found that certain locations within the tower had unusually strong magnetic fields. Combined with the sharp whistling of air currents passing through narrow spaces and the dim lighting within the tower, all of these factors could affect the psychology of visitors. Furthermore, those haunted places emitted unsettling infrasound waves, and flames would flicker, easily inducing a fear of confinement in visitors, leading them to believe they had encountered ghosts. Additionally, many ravens inhabit the grass outside the Tower of London, with at least 6 ravens said to have lived inside the tower for centuries. Since ravens are animals associated with spirituality and mythology, this fact also adds to people's sense of unease. In reality, most of those who claim the Tower of London is haunted are British tourists, who, due to their familiarity with history, have a deep-rooted fear of the Tower of London. Nevertheless, these tales of hauntings do not diminish the tower's status. It remains one of the most famous buildings in the world.